This is the Watch Geek Time Podcast.
Hey everybody, it's Scott with Watch Geek Time. I'm here with Tim, Independent Time, independenttime.com.
Hi everybody, good to be back.
Got another show for you today. We got a lot of stuff to talk about, so we're going to dive right in. We're going to talk about Marco Lang.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
We're going to talk about Romain Gaultier.
Yep.
We're going to talk about what we're wearing in 1 second, and we're going to do some email stuff. So we're going to dive right in. Why don't we talk about what we're wearing? What do you got on?
Sure. Well, today, we've had this one out before.
We have talked about it.
Yes. Yeah. So this is the Oxen Junior annual calendar. So we'll bring that one in there.
And this was commissioned by an actual collector because it's got the special insignias.
Right, and also on the dial, we've got the sun over here at 12 in gold, 18 karat gold, and the platinum Saturn down there. Super cool. Yeah, I mean, this was a watch that I bought secondhand, and the fellow that commissioned it had very specifics that he wanted, and that's the beauty of Oxen Junior. So
it's a super cool watch.
Yeah, titanium screw down crown. And I know we've talked about the strap, which I love, which is sturgeon.
Sturgeon.
Right.
I think I made the comment that all fish skin was waterproof.
You did.
I did. It's very astute. Can you just show the back of it real quick?
Sure. Yeah, so this was, again, this is the custom, this is laser engraved, I'm pretty sure. So these are two images. Again, I'm suspecting this is the sun at the top and a variation of
Saturn at the, yeah. Those do look like the Greek symbols for each.
Yeah, could well be. And this is, again, I don't know if you can see it in this, but the surface texture is sort of, on the titanium has not been finished outside of what it came out of the CNC milling machine. So it's very sort of industrial.
And by design,
yeah.
By the way, people should know that these watches are unfinished as a matter of course.
Yeah, but they are, how they come out of the milling machine is pretty spectacular.
Pretty good, because most things that come out of a milling machine have like sharp edges on them, and a cutter can't be perfect, so they're doing a nice job here.
Well, the amazing thing, those cutters are getting better and better, with time. So.
Yeah, well, listen, and many of them are made, as we've discussed, right up the road here. I've been yelled at for pointing that out.
You have?
Yeah, by a certain guy we both know.
Yeah.
Those are Haas machines sitting in your. So here's what I'm wearing. I got my moon watch on. Go ahead, put her on. And I want to talk about this guy a little bit. So Swatch, because I wore this the other day, but I didn't on another show, but I didn't talk about it.
Yeah.
Swatch got together with one of the companies they own, which is Omega, and how they made it out of bioceramic. I don't even know what bioceramic is. I don't even care. But one of the questions that we have in our email today is, why don't we ever talk about how much a watch costs? Well, it's always a sort of a question that collectors don't really care about, right?
Right. It's not really about how much a watch costs. It's about the watch.
It's about the watch.
At least that's what I think it is.
But I'll go ahead and say how much this one cost. Okay.
Sure.
This is a $300, basically less than $300 Speedy, which I love because listen, we have some great watches between us, you and I, and we spent some fair coin on it. Go ahead, fire it up. But this one, I get sort of the side eye from Tim because this one is it's a quartz watch, and it's
I gave you stick about this watch.
You did, but what's really fun is that the earth thing here is where the battery goes. So there's no question if you get, you can change your own battery. Anyways, this guy, he keeps perfect time, right? Because he's quartz.
Yeah.
He looks like a speed master, and if somebody decides to relieve me of it, I'm okay with it.
Okay.
And if somebody really likes it, it can be a gift, and I don't have to feel silly because, listen, it's fun.
Yeah, no, it's a fun look. It's a fun piece. I do get that. Yes, I'm a avowed mechanical watch snob.
Yeah, you are. That's okay though.
That's fine.
Yeah.
But this is no, I get this. So
I'm glad you like it.
Yeah.
I like it too. I'm going to put it back on.
Good.
And I really love the NATO strap. That's my
easy. Yep.
Because I've never ever liked a NATO strap, but it seems to be particularly appropriate on this guy for some reason. He's a pain in the ass to get on, I'll tell you that. Okay, so a couple of email questions that I got.
Yeah, you did.
Jessica asked me why we never talk about what watches cost on the show. Tim, you want to talk about your opinion on it first, and then we'll get into my opinion.
I mean, my view is that it's about the watches, the watchmakers. It's not really about, it's got nothing to do with how much they cost.
Right.
You can figure that stuff out very easily. Everything's online. But what I'm here to do is really talk about these amazing micromechanical pieces of art, is how I look at it. And the costs vary dramatically depending on who makes it, how they make it, which is very, very important. So the cost is the cost. They cost what they cost. I'm much more interested in educating people about how these things are made and the aspects of the various different artistic elements that go into it, and the sort of the mechanical engineering aspects, which I find fascinating.
Right. So the cost is really sort of secondary or tertiary, I guess, is what we're trying to say. If you like watches and you collect them, really, just so you know, it's if somebody takes something nice out, like Tim's going to show something you've seen on the show before, this lino, it's beautiful, but the last thing you want to ask, unless you want to buy the watch, is how much is this watch? Tim is a jeweler. He sells watches. It's appropriate to ask him, but we don't discuss it during the show, and that's what we're here to teach you about watches, this independent watchmakers in particular. Generally speaking, just so you know what we're talking about, and it's not true across the board, but many of the watches that we show are over 6 figures. So we'll just go that way. Some are 5 figures. I won't even get into specifics.
Some are 4 figures as well.
Some are 4.
Yep.
Listen, we were talking about an MB&F watch that I like a lot. That these guys who make these very expensive watches, they recognize that there's guys that want to get into an entry level way and join that club. Right. And I think the example I gave you in our text as we were talking about this week's show was how Tudor used to sort of be the entryway to Rolex.
Sure. Yeah, and Max came up with the Mad 1, that's the specific of the watch that you were asking me about.
I've got a picture of it right here.
Okay. Other watchmakers have done that. Stepan Sapaneva did it. More recently, Gronefelds have done it.
And does that involve them buying a more off-the-shelf movement and doing what they do to that eboche?
Yeah, or not even doing anything to the eboche. That's
just taking it in as it is and doing whatever.
Yeah, because anytime you're adding to it, doing any extra finishing, that's time and that's money. So that's what increases the price. So in order to create let's say a more reachable or affordable product, they're going to look at it from that standpoint and not add value, if you will, not add time, which is money.
Got it. So like that Mad 1 probably has like some ETA in it that they...
No, the Mad 1, I believe it's a Japanese movement. It's a good solid automatic movement, and they adapted the watch around it.
Oh, how about that?
Yeah.
That's not so prod.
No, not the original one.
And they're pretty, I mean, from what I've seen, they're transparent about everything they're doing. Yeah, they don't make any secrets. Yeah. All right, so here was a question Bill sent to you specifically.
Right.
How long have you been championing the independents?
I started in 2002. 2002. So
it's 23 years for those who aren't strong with math.
Okay. Yeah, that was, it was, in fact, the watch right behind us right now, that rose gold watch.
The Vianney. No, the Speak Marin.
No, the Vianney Halter.
The Vianney. Oh, they're both Viannis. What am I? Yeah.
So this specific watch right here, this is, that model is called the Vianney Halter Classic. And I had been asked by a collector in Silicon Valley if I could help him get one of these. And I had met Vianney at Basel World in 2001, very briefly. We talked about it on one of the previous shows,
right?
Seeing the Antica Perpetual. So I reached out to him via email and said, hey, I've got a client looking for one of your classics. Can we help him out? And he responded, said, yep. And that was the very first, independent watch I sold. And then the next year, or during that year, later on in that year, in 2002, I came across, as I talked about it, Speak Marin picture online.
Right.
And that was when I fully committed in Basel to buying watches for stock, and that's how it began, way back there.
So in terms of the Vianney, which I've seen him do some crazy stuff. This is far from crazy. I mean, he's got like a spaceship watch with a.
I mean, yeah, this is a simple, if you will, three-hander. It's not simple in that the dial, the finishing of the case, the rivets.
Well, don't be fooled by time only. I mean, it's even got we don't have a watch with us today, but it's got the mystery rotor and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And we'll get back to this last question in 1 second. I want to talk about this one that's on the table.
Okay.
This.
Well, we've talked about this one again, and the reason I brought this is because this, if you want to talk about sort of added value, if you will, and why people will pay, lots of money for a watch, is because things like guilloche, and guilloche or engine turning is what we have here on the dial, and this is something that Torsti, the watchmaker, has actually taught himself. This is, and prior to this particular model, actually prior to 2 years ago when he bought his own machines, he had to use a local fellow in La Chaux-de-Fonds who was an expert.
Who was the guilloche, who had the turn of the engine, the Rose engine?
Yeah, and the straight line engines.
That book in the back. Mitch's book in the back can't decide to be in focus or not. Here, we'll try to get Mitch's book in focus with the. Well, that's good. Whatever. It's close enough.
Yeah. Why is this watch interesting? Well, because the watchmaker, like many other watchmakers, these guys are always learning, and they want to be able to do more and more of their own watch. And being able to do your own guilloche is one aspect, and this was Torsti's work. And the amazing thing so the dial is, an interesting pattern. He came up with that pattern. Whether or not anybody else has done it, they could well have done.
The pattern that he's did, zaggy. Yeah, it's very, very interesting, and I've not seen it before.
Right, and that's cool, and that's the beauty of these machines is, if you're creative, you can come up with different patterns that nobody's ever done. But then the other fun thing is we flip it over, and this is fairly unusual. There are people that have done it, is that there's guilloche also on the main bridge.
Oh, down she goes. Yeah. Well, it's beautiful, and
just bring that in.
I love the fact that guilloche used to be more of a practical item to keep your pocket watch from slipping out of your hand.
Well, that was on the case. Yes, exactly.
So it's become very decorative.
Yeah, and it's a decorative. It's been used in dials. Breguet was probably the great, well-known dial maker or watchmaker that used guilloche on his dials to make them the beautiful dials that they are.
It's fantastic. It's a great watch, no question about it.
And then, the other example on this watch that I love is obviously the anglage or the beveling, which goes around the plate. So that's around here, all the way around, and down here. And then the other thing that people often talk about is black polishing, and that's on the steel parts of the watch. And that's those two pieces here. So this right here, this is basically mirror finished or black polish. And why is it black polish? Well, as I turn it around, you'll see it goes black in certain lighting. That's hardened steel that is polished to a mirror finish, and it reflects light back. And that's not easy to do.
People need to understand that an artisan may have worked for a good couple of weeks to get that finish on that.
On the whole watch?
On that bridge. Yeah. No, just on that one.
Yeah,
one bridge there.
Yeah, because you got the surface finish, the black polish, and then you've also got the angle.
And you've got every angle, and then you've got the screw. So
it's countersunk, and then all around here there's an inward angle. We talk about inward angles right there, and then all the beveling.
Very difficult work.
And it has to hold up under magnification.
And it's all done by hand. So the reason that I bring that up is that this is essentially, even though there may be several versions of this watch or several the same with the same salmon dial.
Yeah.
Since the watch is handmade, it's actually a unique piece. So people should appreciate that about the artisanship. Yeah. And the last question I got was from a guy named Chopra. He asked me specifically, dude, how many watches do you own? Too many. Just that's my answer. Too many, and I don't recommend it. Many of them are at the bank because I live in Los Angeles and we all have heard the horror stories. And quite frankly, I'm tired of putting my insurance guy's kids through college and now his grandkids. So that's enough of that. All right. So like I said, we're going to focus on Marco Lang. So let me bring up some Lang photos first because we're going to dive right into Lang. Here's some Lang photos. I'm going to switch over here. There we go. So what are we looking at, Tim?
So this is the Marco Lang Zweigesicht 1, and I may be butchering, my German is not that good. So this is his first watch model under his own name. Previously, I've known Marco since 2003, when I first met him in Basel. He was formerly from Lang & Heine, which was a brand that his own watch company that he created. And 6 years ago, he separated from there and went his own way. And this was his first creation. It took him a couple of years to do all the R&D for this watch. And what Zweigesicht means in English is basically a two-faced watch. And what he's come up with is a very clever system whereby the lugs are removable. So you can switch the watch between this face, if you will, or the other face, which is we've gone
the wrong way.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, we're on a. My
fault. 1 second. Let me get back here. Where am I going? You tell me. Oh, it's out of order all of a sudden.
Yeah, you must be looking at a different file.
Okay, we're going to cut back here. Let me find what I'm looking for. Hold on.
So I mean, what we were looking at there was obviously the skeleton side. All right, here we go. Skeleton.
All right, so let's get back here. So where's the? You touch it. I'm going to put it up there. You got it. Okay, there's the one that we were on. There we go.
Yeah. So as you sort of zoom in a little bit. So what we've got here is an open work movement. You've got the two barrels. That's a twin barrel watch. Down below the time dial, which is with a blue. That's actually enamel around the outside, the perimeter, and that dial is a skeleton.
The perimeter around this chapter dial that you guys are looking at that has the hours and the minutes.
Yep.
The outside of it is blue enamel.
Yeah, and all those the arcs on the inner round, that's blue enamel inlaid against the.
And the barrels that Tim referred to are just underneath it.
Yes, twin barrels, and this is I would say a slow beat. It's not traditional 18,000. It's 21.6.
3 hertz.
Yeah, so it's slightly faster than his traditional watches. The bridges are blued steel, and also you'll see around on the edge, on the inside of the bridges, there's a line that parallels the edge of the bridges, which again are all anglard. That's actually blued. If you look again, you may not be able to see it, but it's actually blued because what he does is he takes those steel bridges, heat blues them, and because there's an engraved line around the perimeter to show off the shape of the bridges and certain details, then he straight grains it to remove the bluing on the flat surface, and where the engraving is remains blued.
It's fantastic. What's going on here at, I guess, what would normally be 9 o'clock on a watch?
Yeah, so that's a whole nother mechanism that Marco developed, and this is his indicator. It's a shock indicator. So what it does is if the watch receives shock, that there will actually show the direction and the amount of shock in that watch in the horizontal plane. And why is that important? Well, for watchmakers, when they get watches back for service or the watches has been stopped, they often have been dropped, banged up against something. And
I didn't drop it. What do you mean? What?
Right.
Yeah.
So that indicator there, he just thought it was a really cool mechanism. This watch could have been ordered with it or without it for slightly less money. Nobody, to my knowledge, ordered it without it.
Got it.
So here's the other dial. So this is the face, which is a silvered, and there's guilloche in the center section, and those, to my taste, classic elongated Romans around the outside. More modern hands than what typically you'd find on Marco's previous watches from his older business. Again, these are blued steel with a center section that is not blued. And again, this picture, you may see it in a different picture, but it's the details are spectacular.
I love this too.
Yeah,
made in Saxony.
Yeah. So Saxony is the region in Germany, formerly East Germany.
It's sort of the Val d'Anjou of. I mean, it's not the Valley of Time, but it's where there's a lot of watchmakers.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's very.
And Saxon is that's the other way of saying German watchmaking. It's Saxony watchmaking.
Yeah, it's the area around Dresden, because the former rulers of the Saxon kingdom, if you will, were very, very keen to promote the arts and sciences. So on this watch and on this picture here, you can actually see, if you zoom out a little bit, if you look at the lugs, you'll notice that there are what looks like screws, and maybe it's in my hand. So there's 4 screws at the back of those lugs. They're not screws, what they actually are cams, and by twisting those carefully, about a quarter turn, you release the lug, so then you can pull it out of the case, flip it over, put it back, and you can wear the watch.
So then you've got this watch.
Correct. Yep.
So you can wear the back side of the watch on the front side.
Yeah.
And as you just mentioned, these lugs twist, right?
That cam, the cam.
There's a cam that twists it, that allows the lug to turn over and wear the watch in the same sort of fashion. That's super cool.
Yeah. So you get 2 watches in one.
Yes, you do. And it's dressy.
Yeah. Or, and some people choose to wear the watch like that. Why not?
I would always wear the watch like this.
Yeah. No, I got guys that wear them. Yeah.
There's another dial,
so this
with
is
light variant.
Yeah, right? Rose gold. This is a rose gold version. He did rose gold, platinum, and steel.
Super good picture, Tim. Look at that.
Well, that's the benefit of these modern iPhone cameras.
Skunk-worky iPhone.
Yeah, no, it's the algorithms they work on. That was I snapped that one just again to the light. It shows the blued steel screws that he uses. The details are pretty good in that one, I thought.
So that whole looks like this is a better picture. The whole ring it looks like a piece of enamel.
Well, so what it is, it's actually silver, massive silver, because silver and gold work well with enamel because you've got to heat it up.
Yeah.
So it doesn't warp. And the blue enamel is flowed, all around the outside, and then there's arcs to make that skeleton dial. Super
cool.
Very small details that unless you wouldn't know. Yeah, this picture here you can actually see on the minute hand. See the center part it's actually basically the flat surface has been straight grained, brushed directly to remove the bluing, so you get a contrast between the angled sides, which is sort of 45 degrees or 40 degrees.
And this guy, the second hand, the back of the second hand,
thing.
Almost, it looks like
the weight that balances the second hand.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah.
Well, that's some good work. Got the Roman numerals that you love so much too.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I mean, I don't, this just a detail. I like the crown shoulders, kind of nice too.
Yeah, crown protector, if you will. Yeah.
And there's just another shot of the backside.
So Marco is going to make, as some people may have seen the serial number, he's making 18 of these. He has, to my knowledge, he's still finishing up the last couple of these to deliver to clients. And then he's working on the Zweigesicht 2, which I don't know what it's going to be. Again, it'll be a dual face watch. I imagine there'll be some sort of complication added to it. And then he has another project he's working on. So
fantastic.
He's, to my mind, one of the nicest guys you'll meet. Very humble, sort of gentle giant. He's a tall guy, and he loves watchmaking. And many years ago, he told me, I said, "What do you do to sort of relax?" And he said, "Well, in the winter I go out cross-country skiing right behind my house in the woods." And then
I wonder who went cross-country skiing with him.
Not me.
No,
I would have loved to have done that. But and then the other thing he likes to do is a very, very classic sort of Marco, knowing him as well as I do, after dinner kids are going down to bed. He goes down to his workshop because the workshop is in the basement of his house in the outskirts of Dresden.
Like many of them.
Yeah. He'll go and put on his classical music. He says he takes a half glass of wine, very German, and sits there and polishes steel parts slowly and methodically. And it's something that requires patience, time, and quietness.
By the way, something that resembles a toothpick is what he uses to polish in most cases.
The final polishing.
Piece of wood.
Piece of wood. Gentian wood.
Gentian, thank you.
Comes from Switzerland, up in the Alps.
All right, who's this next guy? This is one of our favorite guys. We love this guy.
So Romain Gauthier. What can I say about Roman? I mean,
not enough.
Yeah, Roman I met later on in my career. So I met Roman in 2009 through a mutual friend, Steve. And Steve I'd known for many years because he was the importer of Roger de Bouy.
Did Steve start his own brand too?
He did, yeah. He did Maitre du Temps.
Maitre du Temps, thank you. That's a great guy.
Yeah.
His dad.
Steve Holzman.
Yeah, his dad was like a big American watch guy.
So and they own CD Peacock.
There you go.
In Chicago. And now Steve has taken over that business, and it's,
he's a nice guy.
Yeah, super nice. But anyway, he why do I know Roman? Well, he called me up and said, this Swiss guy, watchmaker's coming to California, and would you be prepared to meet him and show him around? I said, sure. And I'd seen this watch. So if you go back to the prior picture, I'd seen this watch online and I sort of dismissed it. And again, 2009, certainly do not know what I know now. And I looked at it, I said, well, there's no crown and it's off center. This is somebody just designing a watch just to be different. But I had no clue as to why he designed this watch. And then if you go to the next image, this reveals an awful lot about this watch. And again, I'd seen pictures of this and I looked at that and I went, oh, it's a backwind. Well, people like Jaeger-LeCoultre had done that many years ago. Again, he's doing it. Why? He needs to be different. And then you look at the screws in this watch, and I don't know if you can zoom in on a couple of screws over here. In those screws, there's a good one. Those screws have an S slot. In fact, all the screws in his watches have an S slot as opposed to a straight slot. And so I looked at that and I thought, well, again, he's doing something to be different. Kari has, his screws. Jean has some of his watches.
Jean's screws are very interesting. Yep.
Yeah.
With the two little holes on them.
Yeah. Yeah. And Kari's, I think, has 3 holes.
3-holer. Yeah.
And this is, to be different. Obviously, what I know now is the reason for doing that is that they don't want any, idiot, essentially, watch repair guy getting inside these watches and,
my screwdriver doesn't work.
And slipping and destroying the finishing, or opening it and not having the skill set to actually service.
I want to find a better picture so we can really see what.
Well, right on the backwinder, that shows.
There you go. Well, that's just I mean
that's an S slot.
But keep in mind, it's also yin and yang.
Sure, but that's not why he made it.
I understand, but I'm going
to tell you why he made it, because when he told me during this first visit, I had a sort of watershed moment. I went, oh my God, I completely dismissed this fellow's watchmaking because I had no clue.
Yep.
The S slot, there's 2 reasons for it, but primarily, and again, the background of Roman is an engineer by training.
That's right. Yep.
So he comes at watchmakers' challenges, shall we say, from an engineering standpoint. And his view is, what can I do to improve the watchmaker's job and the product? So one simple thing from a screw is a straight slot screw. When you put a screwdriver in it, you have a chance, if you're not skilled, sliding out. And I've done it many times. So one of the challenges is to prevent that, because if you look at this watch, the level of hand finishing is such that you do not want to slip and scratch a bridge or a plate on this watch. So that slot, that curved slot or S slot prevents that. So you have to have the correct screwdriver. Now, the other thing that this appealed to my engineering sort of viewpoint or geekness was that on a straight slot, you have 2 points either side of where the torque is pressure on the screw. And I've seen enough screws that have been misshapen because somebody's cranked down on a screw to tighten it up too much, and they've misshapen the screw on two parts, on the two sides of the slot. Well, with this S, that actually evens out the torque across the band, so it prevents that.
Well, I mean, and the whole point of why Jorn does his screws or Kari does his screws is not just to keep others from doing it. I mean, your Apple phone requires its own tools, but most, from what you're pointing out, this is a watchmaker's dream to be able to understand how tight something needs to be torqued. Because, like you said, you could be torquing that thing down,
right,
and it's no good.
And as we look at this image, I mean, again, the level of finishing on this watch is exquisite. There's black polishing on the escape wheel cock right there at the bottom, where the jewel is set into it. The anglage is exquisite. The inner angles, and let's talk about the back winding. Why have a back winder? Again, I thought it's because from the front it gets rid of the regular crown.
No, that's not what you thought. You thought, oh, he wants to be different.
Okay, you got me.
Yeah.
But the reality of this watch is that the back winder is, again, more efficient from an engineering standpoint, because you don't have the stem coming in at a 90-degree angle, having to have a gear at 90 degrees engaging with a crown wheel. So this is, again, more efficient. The parts are going to last longer because there's less wear.
I'll do you one other that I just realized as you were talking about it. It's not always easy to get underneath here, right? If I've got a winder, like there are guys who will only do winders because they want you to interact with the watch every day.
Yep.
And you might actually mess the crown up a little bit, digging under it like this.
You'll probably mess the stem.
The stem.
Absolutely.
But with a winder like what Romain has done, it even looks like there's a little bit of a divot space in the case.
Good spotting.
To get your thumb underneath
Correct.
there,
so you can
and give it a twist.
When it's on your wrist.
And we're going to see another watch in a second where he sort of did the same thing. And I know that one you didn't go, oh, that's just to be different.
No, because now I've
now
I know. Now I've gained some.
Those who know, this guy is, by the way, an exquisite gentleman. Him and his wife are exquisite people. I mean, fantastic. I've never seen him not smiling.
Yeah.
There's another shot of it, I guess.
Yeah, so
that's a different material.
So that's a different case. So each case material determines the style, if you will, of the finishing. So this has a frosted bridge work.
Is this a platinum case?
That one is, that's a platinum one.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get into this one.
Here we get to,
This is amazing watchmaking.
Yeah.
Beyond watchmaking.
So this, Roman alluded to this watch before he showed it to me in Basel World. And this is the logical one. And this to me still ranks in my top 3 watches of all time, forever and ever. And when he showed it to me, my jaw hit the floor.
Yeah.
I mean, this was holy shit moment.
This is beyond. Go ahead, because I've got a fun story to relate the year. I mean, I saw it the year it came out too. We were at Basel together that year.
Yeah.
So go ahead, you finish up your.
Well, so let's look at the watch initially. So what did I see? I saw up at the top the I'm looking at the time and how do you read the time? Well, it's there's hours and minutes and a sub-second hand. Well, they're enamel. That gets
touchdown.
That works for me. And down below is this amazing bridge that holds, or it's actually a cocker technically, that holds the balance wheel that's sort of floating below.
Get out of the way.
It's vertical. And this is his own balance wheel, as is Roman. He doesn't do things by halves. This is, he does everything in this, and it's raised up. And the finishing is exquisite. And of course, I had my loop with me, so I jumped on, took the watch, and looped it. And then we get to the left-hand side of the watch, and in this picture you can see it. So what is going on here? This looks like a bicycle chain. Well, yeah, it is.
That's what it is.
And it's got rubies as the center links and steel on the outside on either side. And this is a mechanism for constant force. And again, watchmakers for many years have figured out, worked on the issue of a mainspring. As it runs down, it loses its torque, it loses its power. That makes sense. So traditionally, how would you combat that? Well, you'd have a mechanism called a chain. Here we got a chain and a fusee. And a fusee was essentially a cone-shaped gear, similar to an old bicycle gear, where you have smaller gears and bigger gears and all of them in between. And as the power went down, that chain wrapped around the cone to even out the power, so that it reduced at the beginning and maintained it more accurately.
You always want this oscillator, going at the same rate, regardless of what wind is on the watch.
Right. So
this is almost, I mean, this is a throwback to stuff we've talked about a couple of weeks in a row, is chronometer.
Well, chronometry. How does one make a watch keep more accurate time? Well, this is Roman's solution. So he's got the chain, and up at 9 o'clock, if you will, there's a cam, and it's a snail cam. So instead of having the conical gear, which, if you can imagine, the chain has different angles depending on where it's on, and again, that's from an engineering standpoint, that's relatively inefficient. So this keeps the chain on exactly the same plane, and just as the watch is fully wound, it's on the outside of that snail cam, as this image shows. Actually, that shows it at fully wound. And as the watch unwinds, so that cam at the top at 9 o'clock is going to go away or around the top. That brings the chain closer to the center of that.
I want to make sure everybody knows that we're talking about this thing right at the top of the chain.
Yeah. So the chain is attached.
You can see it's sort of a misshapen. It looks round, but it's not.
Right. It's a snail cam.
It's a snail cam.
Yeah. Okay. And that chain is, you look at it under a microscope or under magnification, it's remarkable. And
well, there's a ruby on every...
Yeah. And that's to reduce friction. And
that's where stuff rubs together.
Yeah. Another image of that.
Here's a really good... And then tell us about this little pusher on the side of the case.
Again, there is a crown over at about 2 o'clock, and that's for setting the time.
It's right about...
it's on some of the other images.
Yeah.
It's a small crown, and then over at 9 o'clock is actually a pusher on the side of the case, and that is the winding mechanism. And on the back of this watch, there's a ratchet system where that pusher engages directly with the barrel.
See if we have a back shot of it. That's a pretty good shot of the winding mechanism. Yeah. I got to say, one of these guys that's run all the way down, one little push on this pusher and the watch fires right up.
Yeah, that's another version of that's white gold with a yellow gold background, frosted background.
All Arabic numerals, or any of them have?
I think he's done some Romans. He tends to do Arabics.
Because his name is Roman. Just occurred to me.
That's so the second hand on this is blurred because it was it's an old photograph. Okay, so here's the back. So what we're looking at here is the main barrel, or the barrel. And what's interesting here is that there's a sapphire crystal on the sides.
Oh, how cool is that?
So you can see the mainspring.
Look at that.
There's also a power reserve, but the other reason for having the sapphire crystal is that it, again, reduces the friction of that steel spring sitting inside the barrel.
Wow, that's brilliant. Wow, and look at the beveling.
Yeah, everything is the level of hand finishing on this. The
supreme.
Is superb.
Yeah.
Here's a point. You can actually see on the outer rim of that, down to the bottom right in this image. I don't know if it shows up on the, but you can sort of see, you can see the teeth around the barrel. So as you depress that pusher, that engages directly with those teeth to wind the mainspring.
So that's the darkness in between. Yep. It's a little difficult to see, but it's literally right between those two S screws.
Yeah.
I can't really get any tighter than that.
That's right. I think you can see it. I mean,
you'll be able to see it. Yeah. Fabulous.
So as you look around the rest of this movement, so right here, and this area right around here, this skeletonized area, that anglage is exquisite. There's interior angles. Yeah, you can zoom in there.
So hard to do.
Yeah, but it's a labor of love, and it's done by. I've been in this area of Roman's workshop, his atelier, and there are 3 ladies that sit there, and this is what they do, and they work with the gentian wood that you were talking about earlier. I mean, Roman goes and picks it in the valleys.
I could send him a box of toothpicks.
Yeah, it's not the same.
No.
Actually, I've seen it driving around. Now we're going to a different watch.
Oh, we're at a different watch now. So let's get to
go back. Oh, well, that's fine. We can go to this watch.
That is this watch, right?
Yeah, this is the Insight Micro Rotor.
Okay.
Again, an example of, this is Roman's solution to the automatic watch, the winding system of an automatic watch. He's got a micro rotor. You can see it under that bridge at 9 o'clock. It's a massive, I think it's platinum, the weight, so it gives it more mass to spin. Again, the blue dial is enamel, and this is another factor that many people
That's the last one for some reason.
They're not aware of. We'll figure it out. That's upside. Yeah. So again, this is a close-up showing the wheels. The spokes of the wheels are circular. Why? Because it's stronger than a straight spoke. Again, from an engineering standpoint, that's Roman's.
So the inside of the wheels have these rings.
Yeah, they're circles as opposed to traditional straight
spokes. And that allows the wheel itself to keep from
warping or changing shape.
So it's
stronger.
Genius.
It's stronger. And then the surface texture of the picture's not so good close up, but that's hand beveled by hand.
So some artisan spends, like I was talking about before, probably a good solid week polishing just 1, maybe 2 of these rings.
Yeah, these screws. Yeah, I mean the screws. These wheels.
These wheels.
Yeah, I mean it's that dedication to the level of hand finishing, which is remarkable.
All right, let me get to these other photographs because I thought I had a few more. There we go.
Yeah.
Okay. There we go.
So here's that. So this is that's the same watch. Literally when it came off the boat, if you will. I unwrapped it before I put a strap on it. That's the blue enamel in this dial. What many people don't know is that Roman's wife Anna does the enameling in an office. I've been in her office. It sits right next to the room where the watchmakers who assemble the watches, and Anna has taught herself how to do enameling. And
it's not easy.
It's exquisite. This is another image of the back showing the bridge work and the wheels.
A little better picture of the wheels there.
Yeah, and again you can see the circle and the spokes. Those are the barrels. Again, the crown down at.
That's a different watch. We'll stay here.
Yeah. Crown's down at 7 o'clock. No, what am I talking about? No, it's at 2 o'clock.
2 o'clock.
Yeah.
In this picture, it looks like 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
But
So again, Roman's design philosophy is to improve technical challenges, if you will, that watchmakers have battled with for eons, and I think he's
nailed it. He's nailed it. Let's talk about this. Let's get to the front side of this. Here we go.
This is the latest model that he came up with. This is called the C by Roman Gautier.
This is the entry level.
Yeah. Titanium case.
Yeah.
Titanium movement.
And integrated strap, which is superb.
Yeah, rubber strap. The initial watches. He actually has subsequently done a titanium case as well. Titanium bracelet.
Okay, good.
He designed his own bracelet. I don't think I have the photograph here. But if you go back to this picture here, so this is again his own proprietary movement. Those bridges are titanium. And most people don't know that. It says titanium, but they might think that's to do with the case.
When you hold the watch, do you get the sense of?
Yeah, very much so.
Okay.
Yeah, it's quite light. There's also an interesting snail cam that when you pull the crown, it's a hack feature, and it goes against the balance wheel to stop the balance wheel. It's up there, just to 10 o'clock above the balance wheel.
This guy here.
Yeah, weird. Yeah, that's
like a brake,
a conical snail cam that goes against the balance wheel when you pull the crown.
That's cool.
And the finishing again, that's all hand done, hand stippled on the inside of the bridges. It's a very modern looking watch. And Roman, he's made some very modern watches of the Logical, of the Insight, of the HM. And this watch is, I get it. He's he's a car fanatic, and yeah, there's another view of the watch, different lighting, same watch, but it really shows it's kind of a modern, industrial looking, but it's still a huge amount of hand finishing.
Exquisite.
Yeah. If you look at the escape wheel of this watch, again, you'll see the circles on the inside of the escape wheel. And those, again, why? Because that's, Roman's escape wheel. He
Strength.
uses that, it's strength.
Yeah.
He comes at, as I say, comes at everything from an engineering standpoint to improve and to have his watches.
And the DNA is so solid between the screws. And
Yeah.
I mean, this is what Tim's kind of talking about right here, the circles within this wheel on this barrel.
He's, Roman often talks about haute horology, the French word for high horology. And that is, not only do the watches have to look good from a design standpoint, and obviously there's a somewhat subjective aspect to that, but the level of dedication to watchmaking, engineering, and hand finishing.
Phenomenal.
It's to my mind, there's not much better in the watch world.
Not even close.
Than what the products that Roman makes. He doesn't make many watches. These are, again, a handful of watches come out of his workshop every year, probably maybe 50 watches.
Out of his personal workshop.
Yeah. I mean, and to be clear, Roman is not a watchmaker himself. He's not assembling these watches, but he has absolutely designed every single aspect of these watches. It's impressive. He has highly skilled artisans to help him execute. But he, his thesis at doing an MBA, because his dad's a watchmaker in the Valley. He grew up in the Valley. His brother.
Yeah, I mean, it's in the blood.
Yeah,
no question.
There's nothing he could do other than make spectacular watches.
The year he put this out, I just have to relate a quick story because I don't want to forget. The year that he put this out at the Basel Fair.
Yeah,
I had a lunch appointment with Kari. So I go over to Kari's booth, and it looked like sort of almost like a call center, that building they were in, with all the different compartments. It wasn't.
Oh yeah.
You remember what I'm talking about? It was like you had these little rooms, and it was weird.
Yeah.
Anyways, Kari had always. He said, "Where are you going?" I said, "I'm going to go over and look at this thing at Romain's booth." He goes, "Oh, I'm coming with you." And he closed up, and we went over there. And Romain was there with his watchmaker. You probably know his name. I don't remember his name. Young guy, French guy. And Romain hands the watch over, and he's just smiling because here's,
he should be smiling.
Kari Voutilainen sitting in front of him, and Kari he's looking down at the watch like this, and he looks up at the watchmaker, and he says something. He must have said loop in French or whatever he say. So the guy hands him a loop, and he puts the loop on. He's looking at it, and just this was the expression on Kari's face.
Holy shit.
And I swear to God, I am not exaggerating. Tears started forming in this watchmaker's eye. He was like, we had made his year, that the best finisher in the business came over, and the look on Kari's face, I will never forget. Was like, what, in Kari's way, the fuck is going on here?
Right. I mean, so there's the finishing aspect, and this was this watch, right?
Yeah, this one.
One.
Yeah. First one, I don't think it looked as nice as this. It was, this one's, they've taken on some different stuff. He's got one that's got a cover on it, it's crusted in diamonds. He's got a whole bunch of different versions of it. But essentially, this is the watch. I mean, this I couldn't believe the Fusi chain was mind-blowing.
But and when you put it all together, I mean, as a congruent object of micromechanical art, it is extraordinary, and that's why, to me, this will remain in my top 3 watches of all time.
Unparalleled watchmaking.
Yeah.
Hey, if you saw anything you liked today, this is the guy to call. This is the guy to write to. IndependentInTime.com, at IndependentInTime on Instagram.
Yeah.
I'll put it all in the scrolling notes. It'll be all in the hashtagging.
Love to talk watches. Sadly, these watches, there's no more of these available on the primary market. These are finished.
He can find you one, just won't come from the watchmaker because these are very limited edition.
Yeah.
I'm Scott Goldman with Watch Geek Time. This is Tim Jackson with IndependentTime.com. That's the show for today. Got anything you want to say?
That's it. Thank you. Good to see you.
Good to see you, buddy.
Yeah.
Hey,
we'll do it again.
We'll see you next week.
All right.
Thanks for coming.